Alright people, today I'm going to be showing you two different deck lists. And one of them will be updated from the previous video. So, feel free to sit back and enjoy the show, starting with the main deck. First up, we have two copies of Divine Dragonlord Felgrand. Next up, we have three copies of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragons, two in a gold rare and one in an original ultra. And the go-to ace card of this main deck is Blue Eyes White Dragon. No question to have three copies of. Two copies of Dragon Core Hexer, especially because it's a high-level tuner monster for Dragon type. Two copies of Dragon Spirit of White. One Lore of the Red. Two Blue Chaos Max Dragons. One or more Phage Goliath. Two Archbrave Dragons. One Manju of the 10,000 Hands, slowly working on getting at least one or two more copies of this. Two Keeper of the Dragon Shrine. Two copies of Advanced Ritual Arts, one gold and one reprinted from the recent Duelist pack. One Chaos Form, strictly for Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. One Dark Hole. You can also swap this for a Raigeki if you choose. Two Dragon Ravines. You can also use Dragon Shrine if you wanted to. Two Return of the Dragon Lords, although most people who play Blue Eyes use three copies. Two Silver's Cry. One Soul Charge. Two copies of Swords of Concealing Light. Two copies of the Melody of Awakening Dragon. Three trade-ins, because you have more than enough level 8s to do so. And one Twin Twisters. The extra deck is starting with one card. Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. Void Ogre Dragon. You could also swap for a Beals if you choose. And one Ultimate Zolkin. These are the four synchros I'm running, and this is the only fusion monster I'm using in this deck. Two other ones will mainly be in the side deck. And for Z's monsters, Divine Dragonite Felgrand, Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, number 15, Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder, number 23, Lancelot Dark Knight of the Underworld, number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, number 77, The Seven Sins, number 84, Pain Gainer, and number 95, Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. Later on, at least prior to the end of the year or so, I may swap out Divine Dragonite Felgrand and put him on the side for Galaxy Ice Cipher Blade Dragon, if nothing more, to test out the card. Next deck coming up will be a recreated Photon Galaxy deck, which is mainly reconstructed into a Galaxy deck with Cipher cards in there. First up, we have 2 copies of Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon. Main go-to card, the Ace. Second, support, Galaxy Knight. Self-explanatory for Galaxy Ice. 2 Swordsmen of Revealing Light. A decent hand trap when it comes to direct attacks. Two Galaxy Soldiers, even though it's preferable to use 3 copies of it. And speaking of 3 copies, first playset of Cipher Wings here. If there's any Cipher monster on the field, you can special summon Cipher Wing from your hand. And while it's on the field, you contribute this card to have all Cipher monsters on the field gain 4 levels. And Cipher Twin Raptor. If you have no monsters on your field, while your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, namely a pendulum monster that was already destroyed or attributed, then you can special summon this card easy. Of course, should you choose to activate the effect of discarding 1 card and special summoning a Cipher monster from hand or deck, you can't special summon other monsters for the rest of the turn except monsters with Cipher in their name, once per turn. And next up, we have the playset of Galaxy Wizard. You contribute this to add a Galaxy card from deck to hand. And there's also the option of making this card level 8 once per turn. One Electromagnetic Turtle. If you have him in grave, banish to end the battle phase. 1 Cipher Mirror Knight. You can discard this to special summon a Cipher monster that was destroyed by battle. And if it was sent to the grave because it was sent there during the end phase, you can add a Cipher card from deck to hand once per turn. 2 Galaxy Knight Mirror Sages. Flip effect to gain 500 for each Galaxy monster in the owner's graveyard. If it's destroyed and sent from the field to grave after being flipped face up, special summon a Galaxy from deck or grave, special summon it and face down, but that monster gets banished after it would leave the field. Then 2 Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragons. You normal summon this, tribute for a Galaxy Eyes monster from hand or grave, other than itself. And then attach a Galaxy Eyes Disease monster as material if you have this engraved. But this effect can only be activated once, and only once throughout the duel. The other effect, on the other hand, to special summon a Galaxy Eyes from hand or grave once per turn. 1 Cipher Etranger. Technically, it does the same thing, except It will allow you to add a cipher, spell, or trap card. In addition to attaching this card as Xyz material to a cipher Xyz. For spells, we have a Feather of the Phoenix to discard one card and add one card from the graveyard to top of deck. 2 Galaxy Expeditions for rank 5 or rank 8 plays, whichever. 1 Galaxy Queen's Light. 1 Galaxy Wave for burn damage. Each time the owner performs an Z summon, 500 points of damage is inflicted to the opponent. Of course, with a few decks out there, negating effect damage isn't that difficult nowadays. 1 Galaxy Zero. A Monster Reborn. That's an equipped spell for Galaxies as well as Photons. A Message in a Bottle for the purpose of Xyz summons. Of course, with this, it has to be 3 monsters with different levels. And if you can't perform an Xyz summon on the turn that this card was activated, the owner loses 4,000 life points during the end phase. And then afterwards, no other monsters can be special summoned except by Xyz summon. A Photon Stream of Destruction. Target a card in the field and banish it only while you control a Galaxy-ized monster. Photon Veil. Shuffle 3 light monsters into your deck and search out for a playset of 1 level 4 or a lower light attributed monsters from deck to hand. One rank up magic, the 7th one. I can use this for 102 or 107 in this deck. Rank up magic, Cipher Ascension, purely for Neo Galaxy-ized Cipher Dragon. And if the owner has a level 4 or higher monster on the owner's side of the field, then the monster summoned through this card gains 500 attack points for each one. 1 Soul Charge. And for traps, we have Bombless Trap Hole, Solemn Warning, Tachyon Chaos Hole, Tachyon Transmigration, and 1 Wabaku. The extra deck is virtually the same, except I've taken out at least a couple cards. Starliege Paladynamo. Detach 2 to target 1 face-up monster. Its attack becomes 0 and its effects are negated. And if it's destroyed by battle or effect, the owner draws 1 card. Cyber Dragon Nova. Constellar Pleiades. Effect can be activated during either player's turn. Target 1 card in the field and return it to hand. 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity to snatch monsters and place them as materials, as well as negate effects once per turn. Galaxy-ized Cipher Dragon. Self-explanatory. Full Armor Photon. Face-up card destruction. Neo Galaxy-ized Photon. Effect is useful only if it has the original Galaxy-ized Photon Dragon as an Xyz material. Neo Galaxy-ized Cipher Dragon. Effect can be used if it has a Cipher card as an Xyz material. Number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, Spell Negation. Number 39, Utopia. Number S39, Utopia the Lightning. I also have a Utopia Prime. I'm for the side deck for this because I can use this attack effect once per turn during the battle phase. Number 62, Galaxy Ice Prime Photon Dragon. Number 95, Galaxy Ice Dark Matter Dragon. People rarely use number 62 or its own effect, simply because without Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon as a material, the owner would take half the battle damage from attacks involving this card. With enough dragon types in a certain build, you can use its effect upon Exceed Summon to ditch 3 different dragon types from the owner's deck and send them to the grave, while the opponent selects 3 cards to banish. Otherwise, use the secondary effect for a double attacker. Number 107, Galaxy Ice Tachyon, can also attack twice, but only if the opponent's effect goes through in like a chain or prior to a chain. And then number C107, Neo Galaxy Ice Tachyon Dragon, can attack up to 3. It can make up to 3 attacks on monsters if it has this card as an Exceed material. And you can also tribute 2 monsters on the owner's side of the field in order to do so. And that will be all for today. Thank you. Have a good time. Peace out.